Hola chicos, ¿cómo están? Es su teacher Ricardo Martins, estamos en el Centro Cultural Las Californias y el 9 de abril y quiero dedicar esta especial clase de conversación a alguien súper importante. I want to talk about today to grandmas or grannies, to dedicate this class to those special angels that we cannot see because of the situation. I want to dedicate that special thing to the grandmas. It's not the Mother's Day, but I want to dedicate with a little quote about talking about the grannies or the grandmothers or the grandfathers too also. A garden of love grows in grandmother's heart. That's true. And for example, in my personal situation, I am here living alone in Spain. Like, I don't have my family. My family is in Venezuela. And, for example, in this situation, I was alone in my house. So, I have a lot of visits of a neighborhood. In my neighborhood, I have a lot of grannies that are not my real grannies, but they come to my door all the time saying, oh, do you need food or do you need warm food that I made it? And I always cannot say not to the grandmother's food. It's so amazing. So I always say yes. Grandmothers always have time to talk and make you feel special. That's true. Where is the real knowledge? The knowledge is in the oldest people. The oldest people have the power of knowledge because they have lived a lot of things. They have saw a lot of things. They have seen a lot of things, and they know a lot of knowledge that we have to learn, because the most important teacher is our life. That's why the grandmothers or grandfathers have the perfect knowledge that we need. If nothing is going well, call your grandmother. That's true. In Italian culture, grandmothers go to La Nonna house is really, really, really important. So going on weekends to La Nonna house, that Nonna is then the word to say in Italian grandmother, it's really, really important reunion of the family, and it's something that you don't have to miss if you are in Italian family. So continue with this. Grandmothers and roses are much the same. Each is a God masterpiece with different name. That's true. If you talk about roses or talk about grandmothers, masterpiece, to be a masterpiece. So there are grandmothers out there who would move heaven and earth for their grandchildren. Do you know that's real? Do you know, when I was a little child, I remember that I loved to play in the garden, and the garden was in the building. So I have on the window always my grandfather and my grandmother watching me playing in the garden. My mother was doing house stuff and doing a lot of things in the house. I don't say that she don't pay me attention, but she was not obsessively, she was not extremely paying me attention. I remember my grandmother and my grandfather was like my guardians, because they were watching me all the time through the window, what I was playing, what I was doing. And when I have a problem, my grandfather was the first one to be downstairs in the garden, in the park, to give me support. So that's real, okay? A mother becomes a true grandmother the days she stops noticing the terrible things her children do, because she's so enchanted with the wonderful thing her grandchildren do. That's true, because I remember sometimes I get upset my mom with my attitude and my behavior, and my grandmother was like the most beautiful person that can make change the things between my mom and me. When I put upset my mom, my grandmother have the solution and make it possible that I don't be with a punishment. So she was enchanted with my behavior. My mother was my mother teaching me, and my grandmother was my godmother, like not my, yes, like a godmother, moving the wand and make it possible. So I remember that when I was a child. A grandmother is a little bit parent, a little bit teacher, and a little bit best friend. That's real, because you have those confidence to tell your grandmother the things that maybe you don't talk with your mom, because your grandmother is like so sweet and with a lot of knowledge and with a lot of things to share with you. It's really good to have a conversation with your grandmother or your grandfather. You have a lot of things to hear. That's amazing. Parent-child relationships are complex. Grandmother-grandchild relationships are simple. Grandmas are short on criticism and long on love. That's real. Because grandmas, you used to visit your grandmas on weekend, or if you live with your grandmas is not the person that is that have your education. Your education have to be with your parents. Your grandma is part of your education, but it's not your life teacher. That is your mom. So the criticisms could be also by your mom, and the grandmas have the ability of watch the things through the glasses of love of their grandchildren. That's so amazing with the grandmas. Every house needs a grandmother in it. That's real. I miss my grandma. A grandmother is a remarkable woman. She's a wonderful combination of warmth and kindness, laughter and love. That's real. That's so sweet. That's real. Our grandmas are those combinations. It's such a grand thing to be a mother of a mother. That's why the world calls her grandmother. That's real. That's true also. Becoming grandmother is wonderful. One moment you are just a mother, then not next you are all wise and prehistoric. That's funny. That's funny. They're not prehistoric. I love to talk about with all these people. And I remember you when you were in my group. I have a lot of ladies that say to me, "Oh, you're like my grandson. You're so kind. So I love you." I remember a lot. You're so sweet. If one of my grannies that were in my classes are hearing myself, thank you, because you are amazing. That's true. All all wise and historic is not real. I love to talk about you with you and with the grandmothers of the world. I love the oldest people to talk about. They have a lot of interesting and plenty of knowledge conversations. You are never too old to be a mother again. That's real also, because the grandmothers are like mothers. A grandma is warm, hugs and sweet memories. She remembers all of your accomplishments and forgets all of your mistakes. That's so sweet and so real, because the grandmothers looks you as perfect grandchildren. That's amazing, and all the time happens. They have to they wants to want to give you the sweet memories that you have, and don't remember help you all the time. That's so sweet. Perfect love, perfect love sometimes does not come till the first grandchild. That's real. Also, the grandmothers used to love a lot the grandchild. So that's real. That's real. Grandchild. And grandmas are moms with lots of frosting. Oh, that's interesting. As I learned from growing up, you don't mess with your grandmother. As I learned from growing up, you don't have to mess with your grandmother. That's real. You have to be respect with the oldest people. I am always in favor to have a respect with all the people, older people. I I have a lot of situation that I hate my own generation when they don't have respectful with the oldest people, because the oldest people deserve hold the respect of the world to the persons of that age, because everybody is going to arrive to that age, and we have to to have in our behavior that respect to those persons. Everybody is going to arrive to that point, so younger people have to remember that you are going to be in that place, so, and you are hoping to be in that place because everybody want to arrive, so we have to be respectful. Grandma always made you feel she had been waiting to see you just all the day, and now the day was complete. That's so cute. That's so beautiful, because it made me remember one of the phrases or Principito story that they said this: if you said you arrive at 6 o'clock, I will be waiting for you at 4. That's real with the grandmothers. They come, they wait for us all the day to give our the love that they have. And also, you are not watching my face right now when I am recording this, because I don't want to show the face, but I am with my eyes a little sparkling, a little, I don't know, it makes me a little sensible, those topics. Grandmother, a wonderful woman with a lot of practice. That's real. I want to arrive to be grandfather and have a lot of practice. If I had known how wonderful it would be to have a grandchildren, I would have had them first. That's funny. Grandmothers are voices of the past and role models of the present. Grandmothers open the doors of the future. Oh, that's interesting, because if you don't have the knowledge of the future, of the past, you cannot have the perfect knowledge for the future. She should all have one person who knows how to bless us despite the evidence. Grandmothers was that person to me. That's real. Grandmothers never run out of hugs or cookies. That's real too. There is no place like home except grandma. That's real. And grandma's heart is a patchwork of love. That's also real too. Every parents knows that the children look at their grandparents as sources of wisdom and security. Oh, so sweet. That's a lot of phrases that I love to do, but I am a little short of time. So thank you for coming. If you are a grandmother, I bless you. Thank you for coming to to my class, and have a nice day. Remember our grandmothers and grandfathers, because in our difficult situation, the most the things special that I miss is my grandfather and my grandmother. I want to hug them. I want to have with me. So, have a nice day and remember our oldest people. Thank you for coming.